Just going to shoot some footage here. I've got the engine kind of off of the engine stand, and I've got this wooden stand that I use to be able to set the block on. I use it to get the rear transmission housing and the flywheel, clutch, and etc. on. Right now what I'm doing is just putting the rear seal on. I just put the rear seal housing on and torqued it down, and am now gonna, I've slipped the rear seal over, and now gonna pound it in. Just kind of using a wooden mallet here to start it on. Just make sure that it's going on okay, and then I'll get a bigger hammer to pound it the rest of the way in. I'll bring it back. So what I did is just use the tool. They provide you a tool with the rear seal, so I just used the tool to pound it in there. Okay, on to the next step, flywheel probably. I put the flywheel housing on. I would have filmed it, but the battery ran out on the camera, so I put it on. It's kind of uneventful, but we're going to start putting the flywheel on. Now, I got new bolts. They sent the, with the South Bend kit, they sent no bolts for the flywheel, but they didn't send washers, and there was washers on the old flywheel. So I took the washers off of that, and I'm going to use it on the new one. Let me get a drift pin or something I can line it up with. Did I bump it? You see? Let me get the torque specs and I'll bring you back. So the torque value on the flywheel bolts are 101 pounds. I'm gonna have to get something to keep that from rotating. I had torqued this one off camera just to make sure that this bar would work as to hold it. Wonder what engineer came up with
101 pounds. Couldn't have been 100 or 105. Why 101? I'll bring it back. Okay, so we got a dual disc clutch here. What I did is clean the inside of the flywheel, put the first disc in this plate, the middle plate on. Now what I'll do is I'll clean this plate off with brake cleaner so that it's make sure that there's no grease or anything on it. And I'll clean this one off also. I'll get the rest of the bolts. I'll have to see if I can find torque values for those, and I'll bring you back. I'm just torquing the bolts on this clutch.
Now, it doesn't tell you in the directions that they send with a clutch, they don't tell you, it comes pre-assembled. The clutch comes pre-assembled. In other words, the clutch housing is attached to the flywheel in the box. If you read the directions, they don't ever say anything about disassembling the clutch housing from the flywheel and putting the new flywheel on. They talk about other things, but one of the things that they do not mention is torque specs. So what I'm doing is I kind of got the feel for how tight they were when they were pre-assembled, and I'm going a little bit more than that. I set it for 50 foot-pounds, so I'm going to be torquing them for 50 foot-pounds. And I'm not going in a cross pattern. I'm just, I tighten them all up with an Allen wrench so that they were tight, and then I'm just going sequentially around it. And I'll go around it a couple of times just to make sure that it's good.
I'll bring you back. Just shooting a little video here. I pick the motor up onto the engine hoist and putting the oil pan on. I'm going to get ready to set it into the engine bay. So what I'm in the process of doing right now is torquing the oil pan down. What I'll do is I'll set up a camera and bring you back and show you that. I kind of forgot to video me putting it on. Well, it wasn't a big deal. Put the oil pickup line on, put the oil pan on. Before I put the oil pan on, it used to be black. I painted it red. Again, I don't have a video of that, but here's the engine. I've got to come back and torque them bolts down really good. I've kind of got to leave early today, so I'm not really sure. I'm going to try and get it up into the engine bay. I might not get it put in, hooked up to the transmission today, but I'll bring you back and just show you finishing out torquing the oil pan in.
just some video of me torquing the pan bolts. It's 18 foot-pounds if anybody's curious. And you're probably wondering why I have this long extension on here. It's because the bolts in the back behind the pan are, you have to use the extension for. Guess I could take it off for the rest of them, but I'd have to put it back on to get to them. Let me swing it around the other side. I had started with this one. It's got a stud on the bottom of it. Holds a wiring harness. That is it. I'm going to jack it up and kind of set it in the engine bay. I've got to leave in about an hour, so just going to kind of position it inside the engine bay for now. I'll bring you back.